again, chapter 11 of the Outlaw Varjak Paw coming up. The five of them crossed silently, swiftly into Sally Bones' territory. They passed the ears and tail in the gutter, pinned out like some awful kind of flag. Varjak's blood burned as he saw it again. They hurried through the city, followed the tracks westwards. The streets were broader here, but towers of steel and glass loomed over them, blocking out the sky with walls no cat could climb. They were so much taller than the brown buildings of the harbour. Varjak felt like he was running through a canyon. The sun was just beginning to rise, shooting streaks of crimson onto the glass. Dawn was fast approaching. The trail led down to the riverside. As the river came into view, Varjak heard water rushing past, but it was drowned out by a shrill whistle and a rattling roar. These noises came from a railway bridge that spanned the river. A train was hurtling over, making the bridge shake and shake and shake. It made Varjak's fur shake too, and put his teeth on edge. This part of town was so different to the harbour. It looked like the riverbanks had been eaten up by towers. Chimney stacks belched out smoke. The taste of burning was thick on the air. Across the river, Varjak could see one tower that stood out from the rest, set apart on a mound. It was stone, not glass, and it looked very old. It might have been white once, but now it was black with smoke stains. It looked like a jagged claw of darkness tearing into the dawn. "That's Sally Bones's place," whispered Omar. "The graveyard. She only comes out if it is out of it at night. If you end up there, it's over. But down here, by the river, this is where they bring prisoners first, to soften them up." He led them to the top of the rickety wooden gangplank that led down to the waterfront. It juddered as a train went by. The railway bridge stretched far off into the night, across a wide expanse of water. Most of the river was calm and still. Just under the bridge, though, it churned with dirty brown froth. "That's strange," thought Varjak. "Why is it churning like that?" He crept to the edge of the gangplank. It was low tide, so the river's muddy banks were exposed. There was no sign of Sally Bones, but there were 6 of her gang just below him. 6 brawny tomcats. One of them was pinning Jess flat in the mud. 3 others were watching from a distance, laughing. Rays was looking out at the river alone. Lucia was leaning over Jess and shouting, "Where is he? Where is he? Tell us!" Jess didn't answer. Lucia nodded at the tomcat pinning her down. The tomcat grinned, placed a claw over her ear, and ripped right through it. Jess screamed. On the gangplank, Varjak rose up and sprang towards Jess. "That's enough!" he growled. Fury darkened his sight. He breathed deep, filling his lungs with grim purpose. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. The world seemed to shimmer and slow down around him. The power rose up inside him, and now he made a moving circle. "Stop!" called Holly. "We need to plan!" But Varjak couldn't stop. He was too angry. The power seethed inside him. As he touched down on the riverbank, it built up and up and up until it was more than he could contain or control. And then it flung him forwards towards Jess. His body arched through the air, a moving circle of pure energy, pulsing, glowing, throbbing with rage. Lucia jerked away just in time. Varjak turned to the tomcat who was pinning Jess down, and the power exploded. Smash, smash, smash! The tomcat crumpled. He sank to the ground. Something spluttered on Varjak's fur. Mud, perhaps, or blood. The tomcat was very still. Up on the railway bridge, a train whistle shrieked into the dawn. Varjak roared, full of ferocious joy. There were 5 more cats to fight, but the power was so strong. He felt so good. He wasn't scared of it anymore. It was flowing all around him like a ring of fire, and at the back of his throat was the taste of burning. "Jess!" he yelled. "Get up!" Her ear was torn and bleeding, but her eyes opened wide at his voice. "Varjak? Am I dreaming?" "You're coming home." Razor edged forward. "Wait," he said. "I have to talk to you." There was a strange expression in his eyes that Varjak couldn't read, but there was no time to wonder what it meant. His awareness screamed with danger. Behind him, another tomcat was coming to get him. Varjak spun around, arched under the blow, and came up to the cat's belly. He felt the crunch of ribs, and then the tomcat was spinning through the air. He splashed into the river and was carried away by the tide. The train was gone now. Its juddering roar had faded. Under the railway bridge the river still bubbled unseized, a torrent of dirty brown water. 2 down, but now Varjak was off balance and Luja was coming at him. Varjak tried to turn. Too late. Luja smashed into him, breaking the circle. Varjak rolled back in the mud, exposed, and now Luja was coming in for the kill. But Holly got there first. She sprang down from the gangplank and wrestled Luja away. He was much bigger than her and stronger, but Holly had the advantage of surprise, and now Omar and Tam were with her, backing her up, and Ozzy was charging into the other 2 Bones cats. "Omar! Ozzy!" Luja shouted. "You traitors! The boss wants you, dead or alive!" "She'll never get us," growled Omar. He thumped Luja hard, sending him sprawling into the mud. "We're in Varjak's gang now." Jess's eyes glowed. "Who are they?" she whispered. "The horrible twins," said Varjak. "Outlaw cats. They're with us." Ozzy was on the rampage. The 2 Bones cats fled from him down the waterfront. Omar and Holly were holding Luja face down in the mud. Only Razor was still standing now, and he was completely outnumbered. "Let's get out of here," shouted Holly. She moved back towards the gangplank. Omar and Ozzy followed her. Varjak started another moving circle and helped Jess to her paws. "Can you still run?" he said. "Try and stop me." They joined the others at the bottom of the gangplank. Razor stood where he was, looking at Varjak. High above, there was an ear-splitting whistle, and the railway bridge started to rattle again, to rattle and roar with the rush of another train. "You won't get away with this!" shouted Luja, hauling himself up from the mud. "Leave us alone," said Varjak. "We're free cats, and nobody hurts a free cat." His circle shimmered like silver blue fire in the night. "Wait," said Razor, still looking at Varjak. "I want to—" His words were drowned out by the roar of the train. Varjak and his friends started to climb the gangplank, Ozzy holding the line at the rear. Luja lashed out as they went. Ozzy took the blow without flinching and hit back with his huge paws. Luja fell away. Razor just stood at the foot of the gangplank, watching in the mud as they made it to the top. "Go!" panted Holly. "Go, go, go!" They raced away into a red dawn. Jess was still bleeding, but she ran the fastest and no one was left behind. As the streets flashed by, as they dashed through the great glass canyons, Varjak came out of slow time. It was hard. His throat felt raw. His vision was blurry. But somehow, through the chaos and confusion, they made it back to the border of the west side. No one followed them. They met no patrols. They scrambled over the crossroad, past the ears and tail in the gutter, and back into the city centre. They'd done it. They'd gone into Sally Bones's territory and brought Jess out alive. And up above, the snow began to fall again, to fall unstoppably from the sky. Oh, I'm glad they've got Jess back. Hope you enjoyed that one.